Allow me to reintroduce myself. And for those that know me or those that don't know me, my name is Aaron L. Smith. I'm a comic from NYC. I'm very brash. I'm very arrogant at times. I'm very brutally honest at times. And that may offend a lot of you. And that's perfectly fine. But to those that know me and know how I am, I always keep it real. And that's what you're going to get with this podcast. Now, the reason why I call it Aaron Smith Can't Lose is that I can't. And that I really just say what's on my mind, say how I feel. And if you don't like it, I don't care. If you like it, I don't care. I just don't, because, I appreciate it if you do. But, at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. This is how I talk. This is how I feel about things. And you can agree, or that's cool. You can disagree, that's cool too. But really, at the end of the day, I don't really care because I can't lose. Kind of like that TV show that I used to watch in the 90s. Put two and two together, and you'll go from there. Can't lose. But at the end of the day, like I said, I speak my mind, and that's just how I do it. And that's what you're going to come and get with this podcast. You're going to get my opinion on, what's going on in the world, sports, politics, whatnot, lifestyle, I may throw in some things that I've dealt with personally, professionally as a comedian, and whatnot, I've been doing this for a couple years now. This is my first actual voice recording that I'm doing. I usually do videos. I have 2 seasons uploaded on YouTube. If you want to check that out, you go to YouTube, you type in Aaron Smith Can't Lose. You could check out the first 2 seasons of my podcast. I have a whole bunch of guests, like fellow comedians, that I've worked with over the years. I'm still an up-and-comer. I'm not a popular guy by any of the sorts, but I'm still working on it, still do what I gotta do, still grinding, and whatnot. And I just like to have fun. Sometimes I might go off for the rails, and and that's perfectly fine because I like to entertain, but I also like to enlighten and just speak my mind. That's just how it is. And like I said, you could definitely check that out, and whatnot, and enjoy it, or not enjoy it. Either way, it is what it is, and whatever. But I just like to enjoy myself and talking with people. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. It is what it is. But hope you enjoy that. And you just, send the comments and the likes and a shout out. If you like what you see, if you don't like what you see, let me know, because either way, I don't care. But this is Aaron Smith Can't Lose, and I hope you enjoy. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Aaron Smith Can't Lose. It's been 4 months since I've done the show. A lot is going on, a lot has happened, so I'll try to catch up to myself as much as I possibly can. Anyway, we have this pandemic, this coronavirus thing going on, and, a lot of people have passed away, and that's unfortunate. But we also have an election going on, and we believe that Joe Biden is a presumptive nominee. A lot of people are not happy about that because, they wanted Bernie Sanders to be the Democrat nominee to go against Donald Trump. And my problem with that is that I don't care if it was a chimp who ran against Trump. I'd vote for that chimp. Now, I'm not saying Joe Biden is perfect, especially with that shit that he went down with Charlamagne Tha God interview. We'll get into that. He pretty much said what pretty much I think is the truth is that, you ain't black. If you don't vote for him, if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. I think he made it off as a joke. I think a lot of people took it to back the context. And my problem with that is that people need to just, there's a lot more important things going on than a presumptive nominee talking out his ass, because that's pretty much what he was doing. And y'all need to just chill out. And just going on there with Charlamagne Tha God, you know, you know, personally, I'm not a fan, but, it is what it is. And, the media likes to exploit and take things out of context. And that's the main reason why his words were said and like they just blew it out of proportion. And personally, I think it was really not that serious. But, my fellow African Americans, they always take things out of context. And being as he is a white American and he should, a lot of black people probably like he shouldn't be talking about black people like that anyway. And, the reality is that he most likely will be the nominee against Donald Trump. That's just going to happen. And my issue is that, or a concern that I have, is a lot of people who are supporters of Sanders, these Bernie bros, are going to do the exact same thing that they did in 2016. They stayed home, or they didn't vote, or they voted for somebody else, or some of them voted for Trump. And we just can't do that this time around. There's too much at stake. There's too much risk to re-elect Donald Trump, which is a very huge possibility that it might happen. And that's the issue that I have with a lot of people that I know, a lot of people that I speak about, and I talk to, my friends, my families, associates, and whatnot. And that's my issue that I have with a lot of people. You go on social media, and I go on my social media, got a lot of people on there, that they want Biden to withdraw from the election. That's ridiculous. They got petitions on change.org talking about Joe Biden should withdraw rather from the election. What kind of nonsense is that? I mean, seriously, what is wrong with you people? I get it. You're upset and you're mad, you're angry. And yes, like I said, Joe Biden ain't perfect. No one is. But you know what? Against Donald Trump, it don't matter. I don't think it really does because, like I said, it could be I jokingly said, like it'd be a bag full of dog crap could be running against Trump. I vote for him, quite honestly. But can't please everybody. You really can't. And then that's the issue that we're going to have coming up in November. But we'll get back into that. Like I said, a lot more things to talk about, a lot more things to discuss. And we're going to get to it. This is Aaron Smith, Can't Lose. Hey guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record, edit your podcast right from your phone and computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to do to make a podcast on in place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Welcome back. Aaron Smith Can't Lose. We were talking about the election. We were talking about Joe Biden and the comments that he said in an interview with Charlamagne Tha God. A lot of people are upset about that. And basically he's talking about you ain't black. Well, basically, that's what he said. You ain't black, you don't vote for him. Like I said, it was a bad joke, a distasteful joke. And a lot of black people probably mad about that. I'm like, look, it is what it is. That joint was not funny. It was distasteful, and okay, I get it. But the media is blowing up all over proportion, and people that weren't so sure about Biden are really like, now, like, probably like, oh, fuck him, I ain't vote for him, or whatever, fuck, and whatnot. And that's not cool. It's not. Look, I don't like to do it either. But like I said, anything better than Trump. And, you know, all these media outlets, these channels, MSNBC, Fox News, and whatnot, CNN and whatnot, they blow it out of proportion because that's what the media does. That's what they do. They take one little thing out of the context and they just blow it up and people get mad. That's just the formula. That's how it works. And, you gotta think better than that. You gotta be better than that. You can't just, see one side of it. And you can't just be like, oh, forget him. And, oh, I knew he was like that, Look, this is the most important election in the history of United States elections, president elections, period. There's a lot riding on this election, and, it's going to come to a point where you got to make a decision. And it's more than likely going to be Biden versus Trump. Two white men over 70 that's going to run the country. We're either going to have a 46th president or we're going to have a second term of Trump. That's just it. You could do the bickering back and forth. You can do the moaning, the groaning, the whining and complaining, the bitching and whatnot and all that other shit. But the bottom line is, it's going to be Biden and Trump. That's what it's looking like right now. Unless something dramatically changes, which I doubt. That's what's going to be. And the people that support Bernie Sanders, I like Bernie. He had a good agenda. I have been like Elizabeth Warren. She had some good stuff too. And to be honest with you, Elizabeth Warren was my pick. I really thought she had a shot. But as right now, it's Biden. And Democrats need to stop shooting themselves in the damn foot. That's the problem we have. The infighting. Now, on the other side, Republicans, they don't give a damn. They united. They stay all for one for all, like the Three Musketeers and whatnot. They do what they do. And they stick together. But you Democrats fighting against one another, that's going to be the downfall. That's going to lead to an election, the re-election of Donald Trump. It ain't going to be Joe Biden. It's going to be Democrats against Democrats. That's what's going to happen. And y'all need to get together. Y'all got 5 months. Get it together. Drop all the BS, the nonsense, and whatnot. Deal with that later. Because this shit is real. Get it together. Knock it off. Because if you don't, we're going to be in the same position that we're in now. More after the break. Aaron Smith, CANT LOSE, we're back. So, for about 4 or 5 months now, we've been dealing with this coronavirus. epidemic. Like I said, a lot of people passed away, and that's unfortunate. But if you're still here, then you're still here. And, that's good. And it's going to be a lot different whenever this pandemic stops. I mean, it may not be for a long time. You know, you know, states will start to slowly open back up when the economy is going up. You've seen a lot of people complain about wearing masks and gloves and all kind of crap. A lot of things going on social media. A lot of misconceptions about the virus and what's going on and how the virus would happen from China and Trump's, dealing with it. We all know that. We ain't going to get into that. But what I want to get into is the fact of the matter is that this virus is here. It's going to be here a while. And we should protect ourselves, our family members, our elderly children, and just let this shit ride out. Got to let it ride out, you know. This is a new normal. What's what they call a new normal, whatever. It's just another label, but a lot of things that we should have been doing in the first place. Like, washing your hands and, making sure when you're sick you stay away. It's all the things that we should have been doing in the first place. But, here we are. And, a lot of people like to politicize issues. This is not a red thing or a blue thing. This is a human being thing. This is still messing with people around the world, killing people around the world. Like, this is something that we couldn't have imagined, before it started. Like I said a couple months ago, when you first heard about it, you were like, oh, okay, it'll just go away. Like a lot of people thought that it would. But it's here to stay, and it's going to be here for a while, And, people that don't want to wear masks and don't want to do this and then that and whatnot, that's their prerogative. But you got to deal with the consequences that come with it. And the people that are protesting and yelling in cops' faces, hey, that's all y'all. Stupid, but it's all y'all. It is mostly white people doing that. Because any black person that would do that, they'd be in jail or worse. But anyway, like, me personally, I was mad, couldn't go nowhere, couldn't do much, couldn't get out. But this is what it is, man. We got to deal with it. And we got to do what we got to do to protect ourselves, regardless of who we are. And that's the problem. Like, a lot of people just want to just go back to what happened before. That's over. Done with. You're not getting back to that. And a lot of people, I hate to say it, don't like being told no. Don't like being saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And that's where it comes down for, too. It doesn't really necessarily have to deal with the virus. It's the fact that I don't like you telling me what to do. You can't tell me what to do. That's what it comes down to. That's the attitude that this country has, And that's the reason why we are in this predicament as is, not listening, not understanding that this is a serious matter and there's a problem and we gonna have to deal with it. And it's gonna be like this for a long time. A very long time. More after the break. we're back. I'm gonna wrap it up now. I'm gonna leave it on a somber note. And condolences to the families of Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery. And you know, it's all over the news. And it's disheartening. It's really messed up that you can't jog, you can't be in your house. Like every black person in America is a hashtag away from being relevant. Now let me explain that. You could just be a regular black person, being yourself, mind your business and whatnot, but you're still a target. In this country, that's what it is. No matter if you're rich or poor, man or female, you black, you a target. That's just what America is. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is. You know, Ahmaud was just jogging, minding his business. And you got these two white gentlemen who decided to take the law in their own hands and confront him, thinking he was stealing, which he wasn't. And then they took his life. That's some messed up shit. Boy. You know, and then with Breonna Taylor, she was home, and because of a no-knock warrant, she's dead. And then they wanted to shoot and kill this lady for something she had no business dealing with. She had nothing to do with it. Over an ex who didn't even live there anymore. And then her man who thought they were bank robbers because the police did not say they were the police, they acknowledge they were the police. He shot at them, then he goes to jail. They let him out. But they shot, they tried. This is America, ladies and gentlemen. And it's unfortunate, but this is what it is. This is just nonsense. Like, when is it going to stop? When is it ever going to end? You know? Like I said, I think I saw it on the internet. Like, every black person in America is basically a hashtag away from being famous. And not in a good way. You know? And with the current political climate, it's just not going to get any better, you know? And it's just, when is it going to stop? I just don't know. I don't think anybody has to answer that question. You know? Unfortunately. You know? And there will be others. Because it doesn't stop. Because these people continuously get away with murder. And it ain't right. And the marching and the preaching and all that, that's cool and all that. But when is enough going to be enough, you know? Violence doesn't begets violence. And there's some people that say, you know, people that believe in the Bible do unto others and others do it to you. But what is that going to solve either? I just don't know. It's crazy. Rest in peace, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor. Well, that's it for this edition of Aaron Smith Can't Lose. I hope to see you guys soon. You can check me out on Instagram at The Aaron Smith, Facebook Aaron L. Smith. Twitter, at the Aaron Smith. And once again, I'm on YouTube. It's Aaron L. Smith or Aaron Smith Can't Lose. You can check out season 1 and 2 of my podcast on there. I appreciate your time, and I will see you soon. Peace.